Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Noise, where we try to get past the surface rhetoric and get into the conversation about how, when, where, and why we do what we do. And this is episode, I believe, 34, 35. So for some reason, I guess you guys think I may or may not have something to say. Now, for about 90% of those episodes, I've had with me the round-faced Mexican girl. She is still with us today, Miss Gracie Dagnino. What's happening, Grace-O?
Nothing. It's been a while since I've been in here.
All right, so what we're going to try to do in 2021, we're going to invoke a Grace-O meter. So I've heard through the grapevine so many people talk about her outside voice versus her inside voice, and then the voice she uses on the show, because a lot of people can't hear it. So what we have found is that everybody sees and hears a different Gracie outside of the studio, and they want to see that same Grace-O. So in 2021, that's what we're going to be looking for. Today's show is brought to you by Speed School. Speed School, that performance experience, and Speed School is a program that is every 4 weeks or every 28 days. We work through the revolving of strength, speed, skill, and explosive movement for many of our athletes. Grace, so how long have you been rocking with us at Speed School?
I will have been doing it for going on 5 years.
Tell them a little bit about the program.
Speed School is designed for kids ages 8 and up, is best for middle school age and high school age kids to teach the fundamentals of speed mechanics. So teaching them proper foot strike, how to move their arms, how to coordinate those things, and how to make them translate to actually running faster, because there's a difference between being good at drills, running fast, and playing fast.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know what arms are, but I believe the word we were looking for was arms. So we try to teach proper mechanics.
Whatever, Greg.
And use words that everybody else inside and outside of the studio may or may not understand. Today's guest I have with me today, we have Miss Patricia Thompson. Miss P has actually been here. How many times have you been on the show with us? 3 times?
3. I think this is 3.
3 times, 3 different topics. She is 15 years in the game of education. Her job is to motivate and push people beyond what they think they can do. And we have found that Miss P has embarked on a journey for herself, and she's finding out she can do things she didn't know she could do. So today, Miss P, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the transition from who you were and how you felt about it versus who you're becoming and how you feel about it. Miss P, what are you doing now that's so different that you were doing a few months ago?
You know, it's for me and everyone that knows me.
Look at the smile on her face.
You guys, I have started going to the gym. Matter of fact, I have a shirt on. And actually working out and enjoying it and loving it and looking forward to going every week. 3 times a week at that. And no one is forcing me at all. So for me, that is mind-blowing, because I'm still shocked, because I get up and say, okay, it's Tuesday? It's not Tuesday yet. Okay, it's not Thursday yet? And so this has been a mind-changing, physical-changing experience, which is great. I mean, y'all have no idea.
Well, I would like to have an idea. What is? I hear the excitement, and I'm excited about your excitement. My question is, what was the adjustment to get you started? Because a lot of times, the hardest thing for any of us to do with anything is to start, and the second hardest thing is to restart. You know, so if we hadn't been doing something, and what got you moving? What got you pushing that direction that you are running in now?
COVID. I actually had COVID.
Wow.
I didn't have a severe case, but I had side effects. And it scared me to the point I didn't know if I was going to stop breathing one day, or because I would get shortness of breath and I couldn't catch my breath, or I started wheezing really bad to a point where other people could hear me wheezing around. And they're like, "What's wrong with you? You've never wheezed like that. What's going on?" And I knew I had to do something. I knew that I had to change. I had to change what I was doing. I had to change if I wanted to continue. And it's still a journey, because there are some days where it flares up, but I know I got to push through it. And I'm like, if I can work out with this, I'll be fine.
So what you're saying is that you had a fear. Fear was a moving factor for you. Fear was a little bit of a motivator for you.
It was a big push. Push.
So that way it pushed you right on out the bed. So what it made you do was make some adjustments, make some decisions. When you began making adjustments, what was your first feeling?
Fear.
What were you afraid of?
Rejection, or fear of getting in there and not being accepted, or judgment.
I'm trying. This is the second or third time we've talked about this, and I'm trying to understand what that means. So I'll give it to you from my perspective.
Okay.
I've been playing sports my entire life. We're used to two things. We're used to praise and criticism. I mean, if you're on any level, especially in today's time, if you're a pretty decent athlete, or if you got a ball in your hand, or if you can hit a little bit or pretty fast, you're going to have to prepare yourself for one and two things, not one or two things. There's going to be criticism. It can be heavy. It could be light. It could be constructive or destructive. And praise. It could be constructive or destructive, not necessarily appreciation. But those motivating drivers kind of stay with a person as they go along, okay? But fear and judgment is something we all feel. How does that, at what point do you go from the transition of being frozen in fear and stopping in judgment to moving past it or moving through it? Like what are those factors outside of, like what causes the fear outside of that symptom or that situation or a sickness? Because we all got to take care of ourselves.
Right. I mean, for me personally, I've never been the physical fit person.
Okay.
I've never been the athlete. My brother was the athlete. I mean, he played football, he played baseball, everything. He was the athlete, and he had that mindset of you. Okay, I work out every day. But he has a skill, and I think that's the difference.
Got it.
There's a skill set there, and you guys have that mindset of, hey, I'm here to get better. And I didn't have that. When I was little, we go out to play tug. They put me on the back as the weight. I was the weight. So I had to sit there until,
things start. Yeah, you got you stabilize.
And that was kind of insulting. Like, I'm the little fat girl. I'm the weight. And then as I got older, my mom was the one who said, "Come on, we're gonna work out in 100-degree weather with sauna suits on. You need to lose a little weight." And it was forced, and it was forced for many years until I got to a point where I just hated it, and because I felt like I was being judged. And then when I would go to a gym, the judgment was there, and it was people saying, well, once you get in better shape, you'll be able to do this, but right now I need you to get there. And so I always felt as if, okay, I know I don't have a skill set, and I know I'm not in shape.
A physical skill set is when you say, nothing that requires a regimen of working out is what you're saying. Okay, I got it. So here we go. Yeah.
Or even, some people go to the gym, they may not be totally out of shape, but they still have enough in them.
Got it.
Where they look like they're doing something right, And so I always felt, okay, if I keep going through this, well, let's put it this way. I just got to the point where I said, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth going to that mental breakdown of someone else saying what I can't do, because in my mind I can do it.
Right.
I just needed someone patient enough or encouraging enough to walk me through the steps without saying you can't do it, or when you get to this point you can. So
I'm going to ask this question, and I'm going to pose this question for people that's online. And now I think I understand. It's the fear of judgment for not understanding what to do or not knowing what to do. It's almost like being in a class and everybody's speaking a different language than you. Or the person that's there who's there to hold you accountable is not trying to find out your best way
to learn,
to get past that fear.
Right.
But sometimes you feel like that person is throwing darts too. And they may be they may in their mind be motivating or pushing you towards the thing that you wanted to get.
Right.
So the fear, the question is for people online, is it fear from of judgment for lack of knowing or looking stupid or feeling like you're the only one that can't do something?
Exactly.
And so how do you get past that?
Luckily you guys showed up.
Well, see, I love that plug. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't do that. But I'm so glad she just did that.
No, well,
Continue.
honestly, I mean, and I felt comfortable enough that I said, okay, I'm going to try this again. And honestly, they did not push me. They didn't push me. I finally said, okay, I'm going to do this. Like I said, after I had that fear of, will I breathe again? Can I breathe normal?
So let's put the crowd at ease. Let them know that when you came in there, you were negative and free from
right.
it.
Oh, yeah. I was negative.
But no, what I'm saying is, so that scare sat you down for a bit, and then you figured, hey, I need to eliminate that. I need to remove myself from that. Us.
Right.
Here we go.
So I get there and I'm thinking, oh gosh, okay, what have I gotten myself into? And honestly, it's the atmosphere. It's inviting. No one's looking at you like you can't. Everyone's looking at you like you can. And then they take the time out to explain and say, no, let's just do it like this. And not embarrassing. It's just they'll come over and say, hey, move your leg like this or move your arm like this. And you're like, oh, well, can you feel it here now? This is where you're supposed to feel it. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do? Oh, that's how I'm supposed to feel? And it's those small things. And even, coming in your ear, tell your body what you want it to do. Well, body, this is what we're going to do today. Body, we are moving like this. Body, we're working out.
How important is that? Because I'm talking, we're all adults at the table. And Gracie, we're all adults at the table. How important is it to get that kind of validation? I'm asking everybody at the table for the thing that they're trying. How important is it at our age, really, to get that validation? Grace, so you go, and then Miss P, I want you to answer that elaborately.
My personality type as a whole is already categorized as like a people pleaser or like being increasingly like it makes me feel valuable in a way. And I've always been like that. I've always been like that since I was a kid too. So, and then as a woman too, I think people forget that, like even in sports, and I was an athlete and I did physical things and I worked out, and even despite all the hard work outside of there was always someone that I was looking to like
for confirmation.
To get some
affirmation.
And for a long time that was like my brother. For basketball, for skill, for sports and things like that. Like if I looked good to him, then I felt good.
Right.
If I did something bad, like it almost made me feel awkward and embarrassed.
Yeah.
And that translates to, like, even when I got to PE, I had only ever worked out on my own or at a school. So when I was around like you and like Jason and then even Jasmine, when I felt her, I was like, oh crap. I'm like,
yeah, Jasmine
I was like, okay. I thought I was a pretty okay athlete, and to be quite honest, I wasn't the most athletic or the most quick, but I was hella hardworking. There was no one in the gym that would outwork me when it came to certain things. So when I got there, I was a little intimidated. It's not as intimidating anymore because I've been there the longest.
You're right. You're a bit. But you needed that affirmation for your own sanity, it sounds like, in order to just push yourself a little harder to keep going. Miss P, what about you? That's fantastic to hear, Grace.
For me, I feel like I'm finally a part of something. And I feel like I finally fit in. And I'm a part of something where something I've always wanted to do that I never succeeded at. because I feel like I can do anything. I've always had that mindset. I can do anything. I am, you tell me I can't, you're going to be proven wrong. I can do anything. But it was always that one thing. It was that, as far as weight, as far as working out, I was always stopped in my tracks because I felt like I didn't fit in that area. But I feel like now I can go anywhere, and it's like I have the confidence to say, oh, I know what that is. I know I can do that. I can do that too. I can do that. And because everyone there gave me that assurance that you're not alone. You're not alone. We all start somewhere, and you're going to get there. And surely seeing it and everyone, motivating it's giving me that mentality of, wow, this is great.
So it goes well beyond the number of reps.
Yeah.
It goes well beyond the number of exercises. It sounds like we need the same things that we're trying to put into kids. It sounds like affirmation from the person closest to you is important, regardless of what they're affirming, because you're gonna believe it. You're gonna move towards it.
Right.
Was there times that you felt like, and outside of working out, well, we're just talking about things that were important to you, be it recreational, be it career-wise, and I think this is important to understand. Was there things that people closest to you may have said something tongue-in-cheek or subtly that kind of deterred you from something that you wanted? So if you wanted to be something, and they were like, girl, you might want to think about something else. No,
honestly, it wasn't that.
Okay.
Especially my family, they believe in whatever you want, we're going to support you 135%. We're going to go over and beyond. You need help with it, we got it. What do you need? We got it. We're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Was that ever too much? Did it ever become more important to them than it did to you?
No.
Okay.
No. There was a good balance. There was a good balance. It was just the workout thing.
It was the physical
thing.
The
physical.
Yeah.
It was always the physical. Because like I said, maybe I compared myself too much to my brother when it came to that aspect. Because he was a hell of a star when it came to sports.
And all you knew was that he was your brother.
Yeah.
And a part of that was supposed to be a part of you.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm 5 feet. Yeah. He's 6'6".
Yeah. Like some things that God decided to do.
What happened here? He's the athletic one. I mean, he came out naturally athletic, and I'm thinking, I should be able to do that too. Yeah. I mean, because even as I tried baseball, I got laughed out of that. I tried basketball, I got laughed out of that. I tried cheerleading.
So the question is this: it was the peers, it was your peers, the collective noise that you heard.
Exactly.
And regardless of how much you didn't want to listen to it, because we can say what we want.
Yeah.
I mean, we hear what's being said about us. We hear what's being said around us.
Right.
We can act like it don't affect us, but
it does.
we got feelings. It affects us. It's how we respond to it. So in that collective noise, they helped you believe that you didn't belong in that area.
Right. One area.
And now you decided to turn that around. That's a lot of years, Miss P.
A lot of years.
So how do we make that mental adjustment? What did you do? Not like I know now you told us how you felt.
Right.
But you still got to get up. Like what got you out of the bed to say, hey, I'm going to go out here this day? And what were your thoughts when you first got there outside of, like when it was time to start? You told us what you expected and then what you got. But I want to know your first day, because first days are hard for everybody in anything, ladies and gentlemen. Go, Grace. So,
worst day.
Yep. So we'll talk about your first day, and a little bit. But I mean, when you walked in there, what?
It was more than what I expected.
Okay.
I walked in, I'm thinking. Oh.
And this is your mental space right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking, oh.
Oh, and she was expecting you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's scary in and of itself.
You didn't tell her that.
I never do.
And so I didn't know, and I'm thinking, okay, what door do I go in? Am I supposed to just sit here? Do I wait? What are they doing? Okay, they all look like they're in a little shape. They're in pretty good shape here. Yeah. Okay, I don't see anyone that looks like me. I don't see anyone that's kind of, gonna struggle a little bit. And then I saw people coming in. They're like, hey,
And then you notice everybody look like you.
And then I noticed, oh, she looks like me a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. But for me, before I went in, I started looking at everything, like your website,
Mm-hmm.
the people there, the before and afters.
Mm-hmm.
And that was encouraging because a couple of the people I saw in those pictures were there.
So you
So
saw the
that's
real
what-
people.
yes.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
So when
yeah.
when I saw her, I said, "Oh, she's been where I've been. Okay, and she's still here. She's still here." And I was like, "Okay, that's a good thing." And then everyone was embracing and encouraging, but just to think, "Oh God, okay, who's gonna say something?" I'm waiting. No one did. No one said anything. No one looked at me weird. Everyone said, "You'll catch on. You'll catch on.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like. This is what you need to do." Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Yeah. I got it. I'm not doing it quite like you, but
Right. So as adults, it's that team. We still need
that.
It's so interesting to hear that because I've been doing this for a long time, and I just started thinking about how the cycle of encouragement matters, or like when you at a job, you know, you feel like if there's a big project and everybody turn that project over, sometimes all people want to feel is appreciated in order to turn over the next situation.
Exactly.
Or sometimes all people want to know is that there's a path to get to where they're trying to get, or there's a plan, or there's a process. And I've been guilty of not divulging a quality plan, not divulging a quality process, keeping everything in my head and then giving it in bits and pieces. So to see how important it is to give that information and to help people understand and realize this is where you are goes well beyond high fives and handshakes without an understanding of a singular process. You are here with Miss Patricia. She is with us talking about her workout experiences and how she went from that mental space of I don't know if I want to I'm excited to getting there. And then we're going to talk about some of your wins, some of your results. But I want to take this time right now to let the crowd know that we will be Beyond the Noise this Thursday at 7:00. It'll be a very, very special treat. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information about one of the best high school football teams in the history of the South in the United States. Yeah, I'm gassing it up. And I'll have a gentleman here who watched some of those teams play a little bit of football. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That man looks a little bit like me. He sounds very country like me. And we're going to have a really, really good time. But right now, Grace, so what we got on the line? Any questions, comments, anything you see?
Yeah, there's a few comments. Nika's on, and so is her girlfriend Michelle. Giving Miss P some excellent feedback. So Michelle said that she loves your story and that you are her spirit friend. That being in an environment where people believe in you and there are no judgments. For her, she was super close with her trainer. That he was her teammate, her biggest fan, her motivator, and that Nika is her nutrition fairy.
There you go.
And then referring back to feeling some of that embarrassment, Nika talked about how she would mentally prepare herself to be embarrassed by doing something ridiculous because she wasn't good at it. And that she would love to come to Texas and work out with you.
But there you go. Well, there you go. So now you've been rocking consistently for about a month and a half now. What kind of victories have you had?
You know, the funny part, you guys were saying, can you tell in your waist? I'm like, no. Because for me, it wasn't even about the weight loss. It was more of overcoming that fear and overcoming that challenge and getting to a point of where this is enjoyable. And with that happening, I think the contentment and the happiness about it brings about everything else.
So it gives you that energy to take that extra step. So you basically maximize your thought process in order to get the results that we're looking for.
Right.
And you understand the consistency and the time and things of that nature. But I want to talk about the scale. I really, really do. And now that I'm online and I know that I'm talking to the world, I can ask women questions that most men just can't ask. Because I'm in a profession, in a position I can ask women how old they are, how much they weigh, what was the last thing they ate, and and it's not offensive.
No.
So I'm trying to understand why the scale is so powerful when women stand on it. Because I'm going to confess to the world, I hate being called skinny.
Really?
And I can go 3-4 months working out a little bit, walking around the weight room, doing exercises, just the ones that I like. And then somebody be like, I haven't seen you in a while. You looking kind of skinny. I'm in there the next day pumping iron. Yeah, I'm going crazy. So for me, but the scale doesn't matter because it barely moves for me. And I'm a man, and I understand that I used to put weight on for a certain reason and take weight off for other reasons. And I found my comfortable weight. And I usually dance around that. And if I want to get a little bigger, I just go to the weight room. So for me, it's simplistic. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that scale for some women is really excitement or depression.
Depression most of the time.
Right, or it's a pass-fail. Mm-hmm. So ladies online, Gracie, please help me. Miss P, let's talk about it. Why is that scale why is he the judge of so many things in your life?
I think for women, we pride ourselves on how we look. And the scale a lot of times tells us, oh, goodness, you're 10 pounds over. You may not fit in that dress anymore.
I'll take it even further because the scale usually matches what other people think too.
Right.
What does that mean?
Not necessarily what they think of you, but what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
wow.
Because
Ooh, you're getting a little pudgy, aren't you?
The first thing that people notice about you, regardless of what they say, is the physical.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, physically. I have no doubt about it.
And so if you look at someone who's my height, I shouldn't weigh what I weigh.
Mm-hmm.
According to what?
According to pictures, models, numbers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like,
now we getting somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Even clothes, the
Okay.
sizes. Some designers will change the sizes to make women think they're either smaller or bigger.
Victoria's Secret.
Yep. They will.
I don't know if you've ever been in Victoria's Secret.
Maybe once or twice, but that's different stories for different days.
But yeah, they will change the size just to make a woman either feel better or feel bad about herself.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So I don't even know how to ask the next question. So what's the right number? Like,
well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. I mean, the models. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The models tell us we need to look like them.
But the people that around you don't look like that.
But social media influencers are probably the more common, like more new now, to where it's cool to look like Kim K. Like
depending on who you ask, but I understand what you're saying.
That's what it's. That's what's in right now.
I got
you.
Yeah.
But like for
the older generation,
it was like the way supermodels look.
Yeah.
Like
I know what you
your
mean.
Victoria's Secret angels. Like if you, and going back to that kind of example, because that's really what sticks out. Like she said, there's stores that have sizes that either make you feel really good or really bad. Victoria's Secret's a good store about making girls feel really good about themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you don't have a lot going on here, you leave there feeling like you got a lot going on.
right?
Got it.
Based on their measurement.
If you have a lot going on, sometimes you're like,
it's discouraging.
Yeah.
It can be too much. It's too much. They don't have something to fit.
Right.
And then you use the scale as the barometer of what that looks, that size should be according to that look.
And the doctors will tell you.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let me say this, and I'm going to say this to anybody and everybody. The BMI is what you're referring to, body mass index. Now, the human body, according to a whole bunch of different factors, nobody on the planet that I know who is healthy is within the barometer of any of the BMI metrics for an assortment of reasons, because the people on the planet have evolved in size and stature, but the measuring stick has not changed. So
I've been overweight since I was 12.
I'm overweight today. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
exactly.
But ladies, don't use that as a metric of any of your measurables, because it's always going to be inaccurate, and it's always going to give you a false reading of where you think you should be and false hope on where you probably think you should get to. because there are a lot of factors to that. So I wanted to explain that's important. But I can say that 100 times. It don't matter. If that number ain't on the scale for you, it feels.
But when you go to the doctor and they tell you you're obese when you're not.
Okay.
And you need to lose X amount of pounds. And because I know, like, for my family, we're all curvy. Our weight sits at a different way than someone who is, very lean. And I have family members that are very thin, but they are very curvy. And they carry their weight in a certain area, but they've always been told, you need to lose 30 pounds.
Okay, so I'm going to give a little bit more factual information about that as well. So obesity is measured through body fat percentage, not pounds, because you can do cleanses, you can do, we're doing a challenge right now. You can do challenges, you can do week-long this, you can do 2 months that. All of that is fantastic, as long as you're not doing anything detrimental to the change of your body. However, if you're not losing body fat, then the pounds don't matter. So we try to explain it in percentages. So if we eliminate the thought of, if I lose 1% body fat and I lost 3 pounds, that's a fantastic day.
Right.
Then losing 15 pounds and no body fat,
Right.
you just lost pounds, and those pounds are gonna find themselves back. So, ladies, and body structure is always a factor. Some people carry weight below the waist. They are, below the belly button. So they are going to be a little bit heavier. They're going to have a little bit more bone density. They're going to be more curvy, and they're going to also be a little more healthy in that body type, because there's not a lot of fat around the organs. Visceral fat is the term, but there's not anything hugging your lungs, hugging your heart, congesting things.
It's in school we learned it as being android shaped or gynoid shaped, or apple shaped,
Right.
or pear shaped.
Yeah, there you go. So, and everybody loves fruit. But like I was saying, I would have been a good joke if I wouldn't have laughed at it. But I think it's imperative for us to understand that the body God put you in, you can make it be what you want it to be. You can't make it look like nobody else's.
Oh, they try.
Because these calves I have, as hard as I've tried to make them grow, they won't. They look nice, but they ain't going to grow. But the body that I have, I can construct it in a way that I can maximize all of it. Like I can build my posture up to make my chest look bigger. Or I have a structure for a 6-pack, so I could push to an 8-pack if I wanted to, that kind of stuff. Some people are built different, so their structure can be as healthy and as magnificent and as fine as frogs' hair if they want it to be. But it takes... Frog's hair is fine. But what we have to understand is we got to get past that mental barrier of the scale or of, I've been doing this for so long and that for so long. So what have you changed as you began this journey towards your wellness and your health and getting past that fear? What habits have you changed? You getting up earlier? Are you drinking more water? Or are you like, what adjustments have you made to keep you consistent like this with that excitement?
It's kind of funny. You said getting up earlier. My body here lately, it will wake up at a certain time earlier. And I'm like,
internal clock is a monster.
And I'm
ain't it?
like, what is going on? I just went to bed. Why am I? And my mom, she explained to me today, she said, your body's changing. She said, things are changing with you. She said, so your body is adjusting to your new found what you're going through.
Your new habits.
Yeah. And I said, but the thing that has changed for me is water.
I'm definitely going to talk about that today.
Water.
How much do you hear us talk about water, Miss Peak?
Oh my
you talk about water
gosh.
so much.
And honestly, I've never been a water person. I would always have to put something in it. But it's since I've started drinking more water, I can tell I'm thirsty a lot. And I can tell I want more of that. I need more. And when I came back to you guys said, your body's dehydrated. And how is it dehydrated? I'm always drinking something. And then when I switched to the alkaline water, I really could tell a major difference. it's like I can get it down so much faster, but it's like the more I drink, the more my body wants. And that it actually takes away from the foods that I used to crave and want and have to have. But then now I have to balance it out. Okay, I need to eat something.
Right. Yep. I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta chew on something.
Yeah,
man.
I need something in my mouth because right now I'm full on water.
Do you know why that is? Water is fun fact. Today is one of my most favorite episodes because I get to really be a know-it-all today. So, what we found, and you can ask any fitness professional that is a professional in this space. What we found is that the higher your body water percentage, or the more you increase your body water percentage, you are at 99% chance to reduce your body fat percentage. Now, to me, that makes sense. Now, if we look at sixth grade science, you can fill a glass up with, fat.
Right.
And then
Ping pong balls.
And then you start pouring the water in between. Eventually, you're going to have to push out the fat for the water to replace the spot. Now, anytime you want to flush anything, you use water.
That's true. It
is an amazing tool for flushing. It's like the best plumbing tool a human being can use. But here's the difference in what she's saying. Your body sits in one of two states. It's either alkaline or acidic. If you are in an acidic state, then you are compromising your immune system. And that's when you end up with a bunch of allergies, and then you start taking antibiotics, and now you're crushing your immune system with antibiotics, and now the high blood pressure kicks in. Do you guys see that rotation? That is a normal rotation of problems within the body. It's a manifestation of an acidic body.
And to add to that too, like people often chalk up clearing your throat or hearing some type of phlegm. People who oftentimes are a little heavier set, don't drink enough water, and are in an acidic state, they have to blow their nose a lot. They have to clear their throat a lot. They usually are quicker to get sick, and the presence of mucus is much quicker for them. And those are all indications of being sick or having a sickly body. That's why when people are severely sick, most of the time they'll get things like bronchitis, pneumonia, respiratory problems, because you're squeezing your system. Now, what I've learned, and that's why you don't really hear me talk a lot about pounds unless somebody is like obese, like they have to my 700-pound life or whatever, something like that. But if we can start removing, reducing, cutting away fat, the pounds itself will start falling off properly. So back to the water that you were discussing, so you guys can understand now, a normal pH for good water is 7.5. Now, all water has pH, a balance, so it's a chemical balance. The more oxygen in your water, the higher the pH, then the better the flushing it is, and then it alkalines your body, and it reduces the opportunity for infection or disease. But this is what's more important. It cranks up your metabolism, which revs your system quicker, which allows your lungs not to work as hard, which slows your heart down, because the oxygen in the bloodstream is doing most of the work. So we found, Gracie, after 200 assessments we've done over the past 2 years, 3 years maybe, that most people sit at 40 to 42% body water. Now, a quality body water percentage is like 60.
Oh.
Most people sit at like 40, so we're severely dehydrated.
Oh, so that's what on the scale.
Now you see what I'm talking about.
Because I was wondering, I was like, how do you know?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the numbers. So if we're at 40%, and I drink so much water, all I drink is water. No, you don't. You drink a lot of water because you're not used to drinking water, but percentages are over time. So everything you're saying makes scientific sense. The reason you're getting up a little bit earlier with that internal clock, the reason you feel a little bit better, the reason you're more thirsty, because now you got the right fuel in the car.
And you're waking up because you have more energy. water, those midday pick-me-ups people need coffee for.
Right.
If they drank enough water, they wouldn't need as much coffee.
Right.
And not because, and it's not the
Or
caffeine helps produce that effect,
Right.
but the energy that you get from oxygen freely flowing through your bloodstream
And
has the same effect.
just to piggyback off the coffee, if they use something to alkaline their coffee, if they add an alkalining agent to put in the coffee and then backdoor with more water, the coffee is now useful during the workout. So now the caffeine is giving you that pick-me-up that you need without it burning up your system. So if you need something to help with alkaline your coffee, then you need to get some of that dirt food coffee spice, because that stuff is amazing. I put it in my coffee earlier today. I can't believe how cool that segue was. I just destroyed it by throwing something else in there. But if you need something to alkaline your coffee, I encourage you to get dirt food coffee spice. All you got to do is go to eatdirtfood.com, check it out. I know Miss Nika's on the line. Shoot your stuff out there, Miss Nika, and if they have a problem with it, I'm telling you, it is some of the best stuff I've ever had. I put it in my coffee this
He puts it on his
morning.
chicken.
I do put it on my chicken. So I encourage you to do that. But that's my whole water spiel, Miss P. So now you see why we harp on that so much.
It makes sense because now I don't crave coffee.
There you go.
When I said there's certain things that I don't want. I have not had a cup of coffee in maybe a week.
You know why? Because water is palate cleansing.
Yeah, and I don't have the headaches. I don't have the withdrawals. None of that. But like I said, for that 4 a.m. waking up, it's like, oh gosh, I need to go back to sleep. I have an hour and a half. But I feel good. I still get up and it's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And now that we are in this virtual mode, it's kind of hard because I'm sitting there and I realize now I catch myself, my legs are just shaking. And
That's
I'm
just
like,
me right there.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I need something to do. I can't get up.
That's what I do.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I find myself getting up and I have to take a walk somewhere and walk back because it's like I need to do something and there's nothing to do, but I find a way to do something.
Let me ask you guys, and before I do, Gracie, what do you see online? What kind of questions or comments do you see?
So the last time we had anything as far as before, you started talking about the scale. So people started chiming in.
Okay.
Teresa Hill said, I hate the scale. Miss Sherry said, the scale is the devil! Exclamation point.
You want to know what's funny? I know both of those ladies. Oh, man, those are two beautiful black women. Shout out to Teresa. Me and her, she was my high school sweetheart. I don't care who knows about that. Shout out. But and she probably still looks as amazing today as she did back then. Miss Sherry, you look fantastic, and the way you was rocking that dress at the wedding, you better stop that. But they're right. The scale is so scary to women. That's why we don't put y'all on it as much, because we know what it can do to confidence. But I want to say these things, Ms. P, so we can go into the next part of this. I think it's imperative for women who are concerned about taking that next step or concerned about any of the factors, the money, the judgment, the camaraderie, the understanding, take a step back and get answers to those things. And that way you'll feel better about not running from or running towards a decision. People know if you just find the right place to go and ask the questions and be willing to get the answers and find out where you are. Fitness is not a competition. Right. Unless it's a fitness competition. Right. You know what I mean? Your health is not a competition to others. Your wellness, your physicality, your fitness, your mental state, it has way more to do with you, and then finding somebody who's willing to show you what you're looking for than it does what somebody else thinks about you, or how somebody else thinks you look, or what they think your size should be. Or, I've been doing this for a long time, and the people who have the most success do it for them. That's the best way I can put it. They may not have came in there for them. They may have came in there for other circumstances. I just want to get off this medication, or I just, I put on a few pounds, and my wife, she said I need to come up off some of these, people just tired of looking at me at the house, or I let myself go.
Right.
But until you make that decision that, you know what, I'm gonna take this next day. I'm sore, but this can be a little fun. I'm gonna take this next day, or I'm gonna try to learn about this. Or I didn't get the results I wanted in 4 weeks. I'm gonna stick this out because I'm running in the right direction. Right. Things of that nature. So, what keeps you consistent?
For me, it's how I feel, and it's how I can't say I see a physical change. I see a mental change, and I see how a lot of things were not. Actually, let me just put it this way: I finally feel like I have a victory. I have a victory, and I've accomplished something. And now that I've accomplished something, I can stick with it. I'm that person, once I know that I can do it, I'm good. If I know I can do it, and I'm consistent with it, because whatever I put my mind to, that's it. It's done. And I can keep going. Wow. And I feel like I've overcome that obstacle that's always been there. So I'm in now.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of science behind that.
Okay.
So it has been said that it takes up to 28 days to create a habit.
I read that every time.
Now, many people are, they'll say, 4 to 6 weeks, but we're just talking about creating a habit. But I've learned that habit is not based in consistent physical action. So it's the change in the mentality. So I know a lot of people stop because they're not getting the results in a time frame that they have perceived in their mind is supposed to get results. Because I've heard maybe a gajillion times, well, if I start seeing some results, I'll stick with it. And it's easy to turn around and say, well, if you stick with it, you'll see results. Well, let me give you some numbers, because I think it's important, ladies, that if you just teetering on the side of starting or not starting, or gentlemen, if you looking for that reason to get back in the mix in the game, in the first 4 to 6 weeks of starting anything physical, it is normal to put on a few pounds. That's normal if you do it consistently, properly. Now, if you're flushing, cleansing, fasting, trying to gain weight, things of that nature, then it expedites. If you're taking any supplements, there are a bunch of things that speed that clock up. But if you're getting the right amount of water, making the right adjustments, you're starting to create and change habits, your body is like, whoa, it's a whole lot of different stuff going on, and I ain't never done this, and why am I sore, and this, that, and the other. So it has to go into protective mode. The body is an amazing vehicle. So what we found that it's super normal after 4 weeks to gain 1 or 2 pounds, but that is almost like the expansion of the release. So you're prepping for a change, and if it takes 28 days to start making changes, then you start seeing the manifestation of results. Many of us won't stick it out. Like we have a time clock at the beginning of the year. We go, everybody's 6-week fitness vacation is from January 1st to February 14th. Like that's when everybody in the world is new year, new me, change gonna come. I'm gonna do all this, I'm gonna do all that. And then right after Valentine's Day, we go back to how many weeks left in the year of being who we are. But what if we can take that time to set a real expectation of consistency? So we know excitement is keeping you in the game. I'm gonna ask you a hard question.
Whoa.
What happens when the excitement wears off?
Well, honestly, it's not, like I said, it's not excitement that's got me here. Because I didn't get in it for the weight.
Yeah.
I didn't get in it for, I need to look a certain way, Because honestly, I thought I was beautiful and sexy no matter what size I was. If I was 350 pounds, I was sexy.
With the voice and everything. I was sexy.
I mean, and that was just my mindset. I grew into that because I realized, I may not fit in that club, but I have to fit in my club. And
there you go.
I love me regardless. So, like I said, for me, this was all about accomplishing something. and finally being able to say, I got this. And I've always wanted to say, I got this. And now, like I said, I'm that person. Once I go after something, and especially if it's something I've always wanted to do, I'm in. And I feel like now I'm in the club of fitness.
Yeah,
And
you're working towards something. Yeah.
And my working towards something is just feeling good. We were running the other day, and I was like, I'm running.
Wow.
It's like I'm not fast, but I'm getting there. And those are the small steps, and those getting to that point of seeing where somebody else is at and saying, I'll be there. I'll be there shortly. Wait, you just keep on. And having someone that's already ahead of me saying, okay, you got this. Come on, you're okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's my thrill of knowing I'm accomplishing a step at a time. For me, it's those small little journeys of saying, okay, I'm running now. Hey, I will get these suicides down.
Yeah.
I will get these suicides down. I will be just as fast as Angelique. I promise you. And
Love it.
That's my motivation, to see them and saying, I'm going to get there. And then pick something. And then I don't know, once I get there, then I'll find something else to achieve.
You won't have to. We'll give you something.
Oh, I
else.
figured that. So, and it's just, those are the things that keep me going, saying, okay, I am accomplishing this. And that you have no idea how good that feels and how exciting that is to finally accomplish something for 40 plus years.
Adults like victories, man.
Adults like victories. Because that is my thrill, just to accomplish something.
We are here with Miss P. I call her Miss P. We're here with Patricia, and we are talking about the mental changes you make in order to get to the physical state you want to be in. I want to remind everybody again that this Thursday night at 7 o'clock, Beyond the Noise will be on. It will be a treat. Shout out to everybody in Picayune. I expect all of y'all to be on because you'll have one of Home's own on the show, and I cannot wait. I got a question for you, Gracie, and then Miss P, and all the other ladies online. Anything before I ask my question, Grace? So you see anything?
Well, Nika put her stuff up for Dirt Food.
Boom,
so make sure you click on eatdirtfood.com.
It is fantastic. I plugged it because I mean that, and we got jars all over the place at PE.
And granola and a bunch of other good stuff. Skin stuff now, too.
Yep.
And then Miss Sherry was talking about the glory of 4 alkaline.
Hey, there you go. Let me ask you, Grace. So, how much of a part do your feelings play in the motivation to look a certain way? Not the logic of feeling like health, wellness, because we all feel like we're healthy until we're not. Health is most of the time a reactive, not a responsive situation, because most of us spend the majority of our lives feeling a certain way. But feeling is what gets you up out of bed, and the feeling you have to get past the soreness or the thing, that excitement or nervousness. How much of a role does feeling play in you making yourself uncomfortable, working past the judgment in order to continue in this journey, and not the logic of the wellness? Like I said before, I work out. I don't love working out, but logically I know I need to. But when people call me skinny, for some reason I go do it. You see what I'm saying? So the feelings play a major role for me. How much of a role do your feelings play in that, Grace?
I would say a pretty big part.
Why is that?
Because
why do you care?
I was always in a team environment. So my ability to do and not do affected my teammates and our ability to win, or our ability to succeed, or getting us that much closer to those things. So if I didn't do, I affected other people. And my personality, as as a whole doesn't allow me to not let the people that I care about down.
Got it.
I need so I will say that for me, I struggle being motivated when it comes to doing something for me like that. But the feeling of knowing that there's people relying on me or looking at me, because I am the first in my family to start changing things like that.
Got it.
I don't remember, and no offense, Mom, don't take this to heart. For a while, up until I was like in probably like middle school, my mom was working and my dad was working, and we ate a lot of Jack in the Box, McDonald's, like we ate a lot of crap. And then when we didn't eat crap, we ate Mexican food. And I'm super proud to be Mexican, but to be honest, we don't really have anything good to offer food-wise, nutritionally. Everything is not that great. So when I got to college and I started learning about all these things, I started telling my parents, you need to stop doing this, you need to stop doing that. And I kind of made them do these things with me because I'm like, I'm not going to let you die early. It's not happening.
Got it. So feelings played a major role in this.
Yeah. Because those people are important to me.
There you go. Miss P.
I believe within me, it played a major role of fear. My feelings of fear. I was never part of a team, and I was never part of something that depended on me to do it because I never felt like I fit in. So, you know, my mom, my entire childhood, up until probably my 20s, mid-20s, maybe 30s, my mom was a fitness nut. We could
say
not.
that with so much vigor.
Oh, that's part of why I felt the way I felt.
Yeah.
But she was at the gym. She was at the sauna. She was here. She was there. I mean, and we couldn't have fast food. We could not eat candy.
So it was taboo for you.
Yeah.
So it was polar opposite.
It was taboo. Yeah, it was taboo. Yeah, it was taboo.
We could. Oh, you want pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, I can bake something in the kitchen.
Yeah. So let me give everybody some middle ground of these two feelings that we just talked about. What I've learned over time, especially ladies, like we want it to change so fast, but it took us quite a bit of time to change it. So I think it's important to understand that you can literally make your body go back to what you'd like it to look like. Now, time, age, gravity, environment, all of these factors are going to start pulling you towards the ground you came from. Those are facts. But more importantly, if you prepare yourself mentally for longer than 6 weeks, longer than 4 months, longer than 6 months, and if you prepare yourself for some sort of consistency, not take all of that stuff off your plate, put all this stuff on your plate. Like that's a very, very difficult way to do anything. So I know I don't drink enough water. Well, you need to drink 200 gallons of water a day. No. How much are you drinking? Let's find out where you are. Like that, in my opinion, that is the alleviator of anxiety for many adults in fitness. Like, where are you? You might not like it, and you might feel embarrassed, or you might feel like that's not where you're supposed to be, or you might feel like there's no way out of that. But those same feelings we can flip if we can just show you, okay, over this amount of time, with this amount of effort, these are the amount of results you can get. And then you say, well, can I speed it up? Yeah. Well, can I microwave it? Maybe I could, but you're going to get microwave results. That biscuit going to come out warm, leave it out 5 more minutes, it's a brick again. But if you put that bad boy in the oven and you let that bad boy bake, you come out there with that golden brown. And that's all we trying to do. I'm just trying to show you, beautiful women, that golden brown is what you want to be. And it takes time, and it takes energy, and it takes effort, and it takes a little bit of an investment. But then when you come out that oven and we put you out there to cool, everybody wants a piece. That's just the way it works. What do you want to leave them with, Miss P?
Ladies, throw the scales away. Throw the scales away. Go by how you are feeling about yourself. Love yourself. And Your clothes will tell you more than your scales will. Your clothes will tell you, oh, this looks nice. This looks nice. I may need to tighten up here, but throw the scales away. And just start to, like I said, love yourself. Love yourself, and everything else will come.
Great. So what you gonna leave them with?
Nothing, I guess. Miss P said it all. I mean, come hang out with us. Apparently we're pretty cool.
Yeah. Every once in a while.
Cool. They're cool, y'all.
Great. So leave on the line where they can find us. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, you can email us at info@pe28.com, or you can email Gracie at pe28.com. If you email me, it's going to take forever for me to get back to you because it's going to take me forever to find the email. But we get back to you promptly, and we will try to give you the best answers we can give you. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave them with this. Kenny, let me leave them with this. I think it's important to say, and we're going to get out of here. Ladies, I think if you look at how important you are, and I speak to the ladies because most of the time us as men do what our women ask us to do or tell us to do, depending on the day of the week. I think if you take a look at this thing of a space of your importance, not what you think other people will think about your size or your back or you getting older or you being younger. Forget all that. If you take a look at how important you are and let somebody show you how to get what you're looking for, you'll get what you're looking for in that space of exercise, fitness, I watched a young lady I used to train. Shout out to Jalea Lacey, who did her first competition in bodybuilding. I watched her grow into that, and she believed in that, and her body is amazing. But to see that transformation was all mental for her, and she made a decision, and it happened. It took years. Over time, she got exactly what she was looking for. So, ladies, you are important, and your time here is important. So take that time to realize how important you are, and let's figure out how we can make you look like you want to look. We appreciate the time today. This Thursday, 7 o'clock, we have a special guest on Beyond the Noise. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it has been real fun. We'll see you in a few days.